You guys asked about indie RPG publishing, so let's talk about it. Hi everybody, my name is Justin. Welcome to Game On, show all about tabletop gaming from RPGs to board games and everything in between. First, a little bit of housekeeping, guys. I'm sorry that we haven't put out a lot of videos, especially this year. With me being sick and also me right now working on my master's thesis, trying to get ready to conduct the experiment and then defend it takes up a lot of my time, so please forgive me, but we will try our best to get more videos out. This video specifically is going to be about publishing indie RPGs in the world of, RPGs. I am not an indie RPG publisher. The only scenario I have ever written and kind of published was a self-published thing I put out on Google Docs, which I believe I can put a link to it up here. If I don't, I'll put it in the pinned comment. But for those of you who don't know, I did go to Necrinomicon, which you can see that video there, and I went to a panel about indie RPG publishing, and I want to give you guys some of the tips and just interesting tidbits of information I learned from them. Now, I do have some notes here. I'm going to look down at it, so I can't remember all of this. I want to let you know that who was on this panel was Brett Kramer. He helped develop and publish Delta Green, or at least helped with it, which is a kind of an offshoot Call of Cthulhu, where you play as like the government in this situation, in the Call of Cthulhu universe. Pretty cool game. I hope to talk about it sometime. We have Oscar Rios, who is a publisher, writer for Stygian Fox, and also the president of Golden Goblin Press. We have Jared Smith, who did the Beit Al Azif magazine. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Basically, it's a Call of Cthulhu magazine where they publish scenarios as well as like upcoming information and getting to know the writers at Chaosium and other RPG writers. It's kind of like the Call of Cthulhu version of like Dungeon or Dragon magazine. We have Derek Zotak. He is the creator of the indie RPG called Gray Seas or Dreaming of My Death. Never played it, so don't know too much about that one, but he was there. And then we also have Leslie Horn, who is XP Lovecraft. She does have a YouTube channel. She's an editor, a writer, and she's an Emmy winner at Gen Con for like best writing and stuff like that. So this is the information I got from them. None of this is mine. I'm just kind of verbatim telling you what they told us, and then kind of a little bit of how I interpreted it. So the very first thing that they really talked about was when you're publishing an indie RPG that it is a business. Again, I'm looking at my notes here. It may be your passion, but you have to treat it like a business. If you want to be successful and you want to make money in this capitalistic world that is America, or Europe, most of Europe, or Australia, yada yada, South America, all this capitalism, you have to treat it like a business. You have to be smart with your money, and you do need some money. You do need some seed money, which you could get from different places. I will talk a little bit about that in a little bit, but like, this isn't just like going and writing your book and being like, hey everybody, look at my new book. You gotta have a business plan. You should probably LLC yourself. You should trademark yourself. You should make sure that you're not breaking any copyright deals. You might need yourself a copyright lawyer or just a lawyer in general. I have a lawyer, not for Game On, because Game On isn't technically a business yet, but I have my own little personal business, and I have a lawyer, and they're suggesting that you need a lawyer, an accountant, like you really want to take this seriously like it's a business. There's a little bit, you can be a freelance writer for other people, but if you're really looking to start your own gig, your own thing, you have to go through the steps of a business plan, talk to a financial advisor, that kind of thing. As much as you want it to just be fun, there's a lot of boring work to go with it. So another thing that they kind of added on top of that is that you might have to end up writing something for free. Not because people are stingy, but because you're gonna want to make a name for yourself. Now, the guys at Golden Goblin Press and Stygian Fox, when I was at their table talking with them in the vendor hall, I said, well, what if I wrote something for you guys? Like, could I just write it and like give you guys a free scenario? And they're like, no, we will always pay you. so it's not like you're doing things for free because no one's going to pay you. You are putting something out for free so that people know your name, and that's going to be kind of under your own self, kind of like how I did with that, writing my own scenario and just kind of releasing it for free. You might have to do that. Now, there are people who get really good breaks, and Stygian, Bait Out Azif, Sentinel Hill Press, Stygian Fox, they were all kind of saying that all these indie publishers are constantly looking for writers. So even if like you've never written something, there's a good chance that if you write to them, they'll pay you for it and you'll get published. If it's good. Obviously they have a standard, but just do it. That's kind of like what they're saying, is like, hey, just do it, and if we reject it, don't take it personally, try again. And if no one takes it, don't feel bad, just self-publish it, give it away for free, and then you'll be making a name for yourself, and maybe you'll be able to get into your own publishing business, or maybe you have a better chance of getting in the next time if you send it to one of these publications. Again, like I said, they're kind of starving for writers, so if it's good and it's within like their standards, there's a good chance that it could be published with some tweaks. And don't take it personally if they tweak it. That's like another thing that I said. Like, it's not because it's bad, it's because multi-brains are better than your one brain. So even if you think it's perfect, there might be, 6 other people that look at it and go, hey, you have some continuity errors here. What do we do in this situation? So don't take it personally if they try to change it up a little bit. It's not you. It's just trying to make it for the best. Again, sorry for all the noise in the background. As always, the farm is working hard across the street, and there's tractors and cows out there. So, Drive-Thru RPG was kind of an interesting point of contention between some of these people. We had a couple, I don't remember exactly who it was. I think it was Derek Sotak, who does the Gray Seas or Dreaming of My Death, was saying that sometimes it was just much easier. Oh, and I think Brett was also talking about this, who worked with Delta Green. They were both saying that they prefer to keep all of their money that they can make off of the game, so they don't use Drive-Thru RPG. But they did say that they had stacks of books in their house, like just stacks and stacks of books everywhere they would go, and then they would have to lug them to their local UPS or post office to ship them out to people, and how much of a pain in the butt that is. Yes, they save some money, but they put a lot of sweat equity into it. There's a lot of elbow grease that goes into it. Whereas I do believe it was Oscar Rios and definitely Leslie, I think, was talking about this too, that it was very helpful to have Drive-Thru RPG. Drive-Thru RPG handles, for like a cut, like, I don't know, between 10 and 20% or something like that. For a small cut, they'll handle all the shipping, they'll handle all the marketing, they'll handle all of the storefront side of things, they'll ship it. You don't even have to have it all shipped or ready to go. You can do print on demand, you can do PDFs, they can cross integrate their sales with other affiliates that they have. I mean, we're technically an affiliate partner with them. We don't really take advantage of that as much as we should, but they were discussing about how much Drive-Thru RPG or other storefronts like that are incredibly helpful, as opposed to the other people who are like, no, we'd rather not, lose the 20% and just do all the grunt work ourselves. Everybody was in agreement, though, that thanks to things like Drive-Thru RPG, it is a lot more simple. It's not as easy. It's still not easy, but it's simpler to produce your own indie RPG and get it out there. So another point of contention for these guys was Kickstarter. They all agreed that Kickstarter was helpful for seed money. Having the money to invest into a game, into your business, like Brett was talking about how he started by investing a lot of his own money into things, and how Kickstarter would have been helpful for him a couple years ago. But he also was saying that tying your own personal finances into things like this is very dangerous, as it is with any business. And that ties back to the first point, that this is a business. And trying to put your own money into it and trying to keep your funds separate from each other, but everything getting tied up, isn't necessarily the best practice as a small business owner. So they were saying that Kickstarter is very helpful to get seed money. However, you probably want to have published something, even if it's for free, like they had mentioned earlier, because if you're a brand new person on Kickstarter, there's a chance that you could get buried under all the other stuff that's out there. Not only that, but if you don't fund, they said specifically, if you don't fund within 48 hours, you're probably not going to get funded. I don't pay attention to Kickstarter. I don't know all the metrics for them, but these guys all seem to agree that if you don't get funded right away, it is such an uphill battle to try to keep yourself relevant as more and more Kickstarters keep on getting added to the list, that you just kind of get buried under it. Whereas like everybody who keeps on, if the more contributions you get, the higher up on the search results and stuff you'll get in Kickstarter. So they said you gotta really push and really go for it. And they even suggested having a whole team, like a whole separate team that just dealt with Kickstarter, because apparently Kickstarter is a pain in their quote, not mine, is a pain in the ass to deal with. The people on there, the very needy, which they understand that the consumer wants their product, and they understand that the consumer might want questions answered, might want updates, but some of them are incredibly needy and fussy, and dealing with all of them, as well as the Kickstarter team, is apparently a pain in the butt for a lot of people. And you can't be trying to write the book, get your artists and your editors and your layout all set up, and trying to deal with the Kickstarter team and the backers who are constantly sending you hundreds of emails a day asking for updates or complaining about shipping rates. And they were basically saying that if you're going to try to go with the Kickstarter route, you need to really have a plan to keep everybody updated, and you need to have somebody who's really savvy with marketing and social media. That was interesting to me because I thought like on Kickstarter things would be relatively easy. Just, hey, look at this cool new product, you know, give us some money. And with the amount of people on Kickstarter, I thought they would be relatively easy to fund, but apparently, according to them, Kickstarter is a pain in the butt. Finally, the last point that they really talked about, now mind you, this was like a 90-minute, maybe an hour, 90 minutes with questions of talking about this. I'm just trying to kind of power through it. The last thing that they talked about was that you're gonna fail. And whether the whole product or the whole project fails, they hope not, you hope not, but there's going to be either a whole project fail or parts of the project is going to fail. And you should keep going. The industry will do its best to help you out. These guys all on this panel are like, hey, if you ever have any questions, email us. Talk to us. We'll do what we can to help you. Because even though they own businesses and they're kind of competing with each other, they're all friends and helpful with each other. They all know each other and they want more people in this industry, so they're willing to help. And if you do fail, keep going. Again, just try again. Retool it and push it out one more time, or send it to another publisher, or maybe try another editor to change the layout, see if there's something else that you can make it a little bit more exciting or marketable. There's going to be small failures everywhere you go. We hope to avoid the big failure where your project doesn't get going. But the big takeaway from all of this is that they really want to help each other out. They'll send each other, they'll send people like me review copies of things. They'll send each other encouragement, or they'll look at each other's games and do some editing or some playtesting for them for free. So this group of publishers in the indie RPG world are consistently trying to get more and to help each other. So that is what I have gotten from this panel, and how to best go about trying to publish an indie RPG in this giant and ever-growing market of RPGs, which is pretty cool. We're gonna have some more videos coming out this year, some Halloween stuff, and we're gonna try to keep a relatively good schedule. I can't guarantee everything with my schoolwork, but I thank you guys very much for watching. Let us know in the comments below what I learned from Necrinomicon and what I kind of conveyed to you, how it'll help you. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Once again, my name is Justin. Thank you guys all very much for watching, and as always, game on.